So what we're going to have in here is a big freestanding bath with floor standing taps. The toilet's being moved onto this wall here. The towel rail going on here. The basin is being moved from there onto this wall there. But this one, as you can see, is the old lath and plaster. We're replacing this cast iron soil pipe, so we're going to cut all of this out where it was tiled, and we've got a bit of a mixture. We've got an isolation valve, then a plastic elbow that fed the old towel rail. It's a little trick to make sure you haven't got any leaks underneath the bath. Small damp bit of water here. That's set there. You're not going to believe I've done it in one, but I did. Oh, look at that, look. So what we're going to do is just get this down. We can start working from there, back up. Nearly. So, the main feature. So, as you'll have seen probably in the previous video or a couple of videos back, depending on my timeline of when I'm getting videos out, this bathroom has just been completed. So, the deal was, as soon as this one was done, we're just going to literally walk down the hallway like so and begin ripping this one out and doing exactly the same with this one. So what we're going to have in here is a big freestanding bath here. That's going to look really nice with floor standing taps. The toilet's being moved onto this wall here. The towel rail is going on here, different one to that obviously. And the basin is being moved from there onto this wall there with a mirror, etc, etc. So yeah, it's all go. So it's literally that one done, and this one's next. And then also what we've got to do while doing that bathroom, which is there, we're replacing this cast iron soil pipe. So we're going to cut all of this out, cut it right down low, put an adapter on the bottom, and then work off from that with black soil pipe. But obviously where the branch is going to go, we're going to have to go through the wall to the new position for the toilet. It may run directly where that is, so we've got to be a little bit of chopping around and stuff like that to do. But we're also going to get rid of that hopper and downpipe, because that goes into this gully here. We're going to bring the bath and the basin waste into the soil pipe. This downpipe here is going to terminate the other side of the roof, so that'll be out, and it just tidying up this whole sort of area as well. And then this pipe here is from the downstairs cloakroom, so we may run that across into the new stack. We'll see. But yeah, that's also coming out as well. So we're going to start by just taking the fittings out, taking all of this out, but there's some random isolation valve. There's an isolation valve there, and there's one there, and another one there. So hopefully we can just isolate the feeds going that way, get this out, get that out, get all the way around without turning the whole water off into the property until we come to get the toilet out. So today's job on day one is I want to get it completely cleared out, tiles off, floor up, towel rail out, or at least off, and shut it off on the valves. I will check with the customer, see if they want to keep this absolutely lovely surround around the window. Got to love a nice curtain surround. And again, it's something about this job. The other bathroom had random like pig tiles. It's got little ducts. Right, we're getting there with a rip out. Let me take you in and show you. We've got all the suite out. Now, we took the tiles off halfway around, and these walls are solid, outside walls. But this one, as you can see, is the old lath and plaster. Now, it was only really crap where it was tiled. After that, once we get the wallpaper off, it's not too bad. So what I'm going to do is speak to my plasterer and just see whether he's going to board the bottom of it and then re-skim over the whole lot, or we're going to take it all down and just board that whole wall. I'll speak to him and see, but yeah, it's just something like that. It wasn't in the price, but I've just made the customer aware, and that's what you've got to do. Is just along the way, if there's little extras like that, just let the customer know, and it just saves a lot of hassle at the end. So I'm absolutely covered in plaster dust after ripping all of that lath and plaster out. I'm going to go home and get showered in that because I feel absolutely mean after ripping all of that lot up, and you all know what it's like when you just want to get on and get a bathroom out. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is get the skirting off, get everything cleaned out, get this bath out, and then begin to start getting the floors up, getting pipework in place. We've got, as I said, a basin going there, toilet going there, so we've got to start jigging some stuff around. Another skip's come in to replace that one, so it can also rip that stack down outside, and yeah, and make a bit of progress on this one. But yeah, it's getting there. I like to always, when I first start ripping out, I like to just hit it as hard as I can, get the floor up, get everything out, and then you know where you're at really. Start with a blank canvas. So first things first that we've got to set out and plan in this bathroom is they're having a freestanding bath that's going here. But what we're going to do is have some freestanding taps. They're going to be sitting up around here. We're going to have to work out exactly where they're going to run because they've got two big shrouds coming up, so we may have to notch part of that joist out. I'm sure the notch joist police will be on at me as per usual, but it's got to go in between the middle of the window because that's where the customer wants it, so we've got to make that happen. So let me take you down and show you the trick for laying out one of these freestanding baths. So this is the bath that's going in, and as you can see, we don't really want to be lugging it around upstairs in the dirt and the way that bathroom is at the moment. So what we do is lay a sheet of cardboard on the top here. I've already done it, but you lay a sheet of cardboard on the top here, mark round the bath so you get the top external bit, because a lot of these baths sometimes they taper in at the bottom. So go round the top and you can work out exactly the dimensions of the bath, and then take that upstairs and offer it into position. So there we go. There is the top dimensions of that bath. So you can just drop it into position like so, and that will give you the outside of the top edge of the bath. As I said, the bottom will taper in slightly, but now we can work out exactly where they want it. Obviously that's the centre line to there, but it's just more obviously that way because the window isn't central to the room, and the toilet's going to go here as I've said, and basin there. Right, so we've mocked up, as I said, where that bath's going, and what we did, me and the customer, we put the taps into position. I thought I'd rather get it up here so we can physically see it. So the taps are going here. We're going to have to trim out a tiny little bit out the side of that joist, because if ever you've fitted freestanding taps, you know that you've got to get the pipework in these shrouds, and then the shrouds have to be bolted down, and you need a little bit of movement on the tap to be able to connect there, which is what we need underneath. So we're happy there. That's where the bath's going to go. Now we ordered, or the customer ordered, a 600 basin. We've offered it into place, but we just think if you stand here, we just think that being a 600 is just a little bit overpowering, and it's taking your eye off the wow factor of the freestanding bath. So what we're going to do, we're going to reduce the size of the basin from 600 down to a 500. It's not a problem, it's just because we don't want that devouring all the attention when you walk in. And these are the little bits that when you're doing a bathroom for someone, they appreciate the feedback, and yeah, we can switch that. If we do that now, you know, they're spending a lot of money on a bathroom and they look forward to it and they want it right. So, you know, as a bathroom fitter, you want to give a little bit of guidance as well of what's going to work and what isn't. So we're switching that out. It's not a problem, we can still get everything piped up ready, but now we've sort of locked down positions and where everything is going to go, which we knew from the start, but them little tweaks while you're on the job, so we can now start getting stuff in. This is the towel rail radiator that's going into here. Got a couple of heating pipes there, so we've just been with the customer making sure where they wanted it. They weren't sure if they wanted it centre of that wall. I sort of advised them to put it a little bit to the right, because the pan's going to go here, and it just means they can have a little bit of storage here. So they've gone for that, so we're going to get the pipework in for that, bung the tanks, etc., and get that done. So we've marked up just here where the pipes are going to run through off the bottom of this towel rail, and what we'll do is obviously bring chrome pipe into the bottom of it. I always put, when I'm putting chrome pipe in, always put it on a compression elbow. Some people will go, what are you putting a compression elbow under the floor for? Stuff like that. It's not a problem, as long as you're confident in your work, confident in fitting it, pasting it up, making sure it's not going to leak. It's not an issue at all. So we'll get these drilled out, get the system bunged, and get that in. So I've just got the boards up ready for this rad, took this one up, and we've got a bit of a mixture. We've got an isolation valve, then a plastic elbow that fed the old towel rail. So obviously what we'll do, we'll bung the system, we'll get rid of this, come off there, send some pipe work under the floor there, and bring out for the rad. We've also got one this side, so we'll probably end up doing the same with that. So there we go, that's the pipe work in for that Victorian style towel rail. I didn't bother filming it, and I didn't bother filming bugging the tanks because I'll send a link up into the corner to the previous bathroom that I did that's down the hallway, because I just can't, as I said, I'm conscious of just putting the same stuff on the channel. Right, but that's the first fix pipe work in to this bathroom. Basin's here, as I've already said, so I've poked up the hot and cold. We haven't got the wastes in yet, so I'm going to do them Monday. We've got the bath tails in. Now they're 15mm because the fittings won't fit within them tubes for the freestanding bath taps. It's 22mm under the floor, but we just stabbed off in 15mm. Not going to be a problem at all. And we've also got the cold feed in for the toilet. So Monday we've got to drill through there. I'll take the stack down outside first of all. We've got to drill a new sewer pipe into the toilet position, which is going to be here. We've got to run the waste out under the floor outside, and then we've also got to take the waste from the basin along and out. So I'm pretty happy with that. I like to try and get as much in first fix wise as I can pretty quickly, because it just makes the job go a lot better. Right, so it's first thing Monday morning. We're back in this bathroom where we're going to be for a little while. I'm just a little bit conscious, I don't want to chuck too much bathroom content onto the channel, but this is the project I'm on at the minute, so it's Real World Plumbing. So, as we know, that's what it's all about. Can you see my strategically placed Unilite hoodie? Big shout out to everyone who has said well done on the sponsorship that I revealed in the last video. I'm made up with it still. It's just great. So if you're interested in any Unilites or whatever, have a look on the website. Links in the description below. Put MJTIFF in the checkout and you get 25% off. I'm not going to keep ramming it into you, but then again I might drop a few in. Anyway, what we've got to do today is get this cast iron saw stacked down, which is going to be a bit of a, I don't think it's been a bit of a pain actually. Picked up a recip saw, a Bauer recip cordless saw to cut through the bottom of there. So what we're going to do is just get this down, and then we can start working from there back up and connecting it into the bathroom. I think the way it's going to run, I think the pan is going to be give or take where that branch is, so we may be able to just take the 4-inch straight in, and then it's just from the basin, bath, and we've got to send that one in as well because all that's going. So yeah, busy day for a Monday, and this weekend is coming is Jubilee weekend, so Thursday and Friday off, but I think I'm in Thursday morning because we've got to get some boxing done in here ready for the plasterer next week. So let's crack on with it. So this is the stack we've got to take down. Got my little ladders there. I have got longer ladders that I'll get up to the top, but for the moment got these and cut the bottom, and we can get this section out because that's going to hold itself in. However, what I've done this morning, I've picked up an Bauer recip saw. Now I've got a few bits of Bauer kit. I've got, in fact I'll show you, I've got the recip saw. I've also got a jigsaw, a circular saw, an angle grinder, got something else as well, maybe, yeah, multi-tool, and I've also got a cordless hammer drill. Now stuff like this we don't use as plumbers, or I don't at least, I don't use them every day, so they haven't got to be full on, you know, Milwaukee sort of heavy duty stuff. But to be honest, I've never had a problem with it. They're great value for money, off the shelf at Screwfix or next day delivery from Screwfix, and you know what, they are spot on. I've used them, abused them, and for the money I don't think you'll go wrong with them for something that we don't use every day. So them back in a minute. But yeah, as I said, they are spot on. But be interested to see how we got on with this recip saw, because what I'm going to do is cut low level across that cast iron saw pod and get an adapter on the bottom and then work off that in black 4-inch. So let's get it unpacked and see what it's like. There we are. This one, I've just bought the bare body on this one, so I've got batteries. But yeah, it's certainly, and that's what I mean, they are made real tough. They're not cheap, crappy, you know, like DIY spec stuff. They are good stuff. So we'll get a metal blade in there. We'll get that cut off. And also, it's a nice that it's a quick release. Literally pull that lever out the side there, and it opens up that to pop. If we can do it one-handed. Pop the blade in. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. Not sure what that does. So yeah, let's see how we get on cutting through that. So we always get comments that I don't wear gloves a lot. Got gloves on, and I've also got, here we go, Unilite goggles. I will stop now. Someone said in the comments I look like Timmy Mallet with these on. Is Timmy Mallet even still alive? I don't think he is. Is he? I don't know. Don't know. Drop me in the comments. Is Timmy Mallet still alive? I don't know. So there we go, we're finally through the cast iron with that blade, and also that blade, that blade, that blade, that blade, and that blade. Now I know some of you are going to go, you can get a cast iron cutter thing that will cut that, but that's took what, 20 minutes, 10 quid's worth of blades. But we're through now, so we can get this down and begin seeing how we're going to sort this stack out. Right, so what I'm going to do now, because we've got to get the bottom of this off, I've tried pulling it and it's just solid, and I don't want to sort of risk the top of it coming down. So I'm going to cut a little bit out of this box and slide it underneath or between these two bits so that I can smash it with the hammer, because cast iron goes really brittle. Whack it with the hammer, no bits are going to go down the drain, and hopefully it will just come apart. Right, so that's covered up. What we can do now is just give it a whack. I've started whacking it here. Cast goes really brittle, and then that'll catch all the crap that's going down. Like so. We should now be able to pull that out. Come out a little bit easier then. And we'll do the same now. We can just smash that off as we go up. We're in a bit of a quandary here. Nearly. That was close. Well, the stack's down. Luckily it didn't hit the van. But yeah, the stack's down. Luckily that caught it. We can sweep all this up, get all these shards of cast iron off. But yeah, got a straight run now. Back up to there. There we go, all sorted, all cleaned up. It's as if it never fell down and nearly knocked me off the ladder. Right, we'll make a list up now of what we need for this and pop to pump base and pick it up. Right, back upstairs. The toilet is going here where my bag is. So the saw pipe's going to be coming along here and out through the wall there into the saw stack. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to core a hole fairly low to the floor there, so we've got enough fall from the back of the pan. Maybe an inch or so off the floor, but we'll core that through, or at least put a pilot through so we can see where we are outside, because I think the saw pipe is going to run literally in line with it, so we may have to jig stuff around to keep it completely upright outside, but we'll have a look and see how we get on. So that's the pilot bit put through there. We'll leave it sticking through because we'll go outside and just see exactly where it's coming through. Might have, let's have a look. Blown a bit of the brick off, but we know that anyway because we're going to be coring it out. So without getting my laser level on it, do you know what? That is not going to be far off at all. Because it's proper bright sunshine, you can't really, so you can just about make my laser line out there, but what I've done, I've got my level out, I've marked it here. So we'll take that up and we'll just have a look and see exactly if it's in line. Do you know what? I don't think it's going to be far off at all, which is going to be perfect. So I've been on this job for 3 weeks doing the other bathroom. Every single day has been dry, sunny, absolutely fine. Today I'm doing this soil stack and it's pissing down. Always the way, always the way. So we're going to concentrate on this today. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this branch, because the branch is going to sit, this is the face of the wall, obviously it's going to go through the wall here, but the branch is going to sit roughly to that collar here once the clips are on. So that bit there is going to be sunk in the wall. Now, a lot of the time when you drill it out with a core bit, they're not big enough to sink this part in. So I've picked up 152mm core bit. It's bigger, but it just means that we can drill the wall out with that and we can sink the branch into exactly where it's going to go. So I'm going to go inside, core it out with that from the inside out, and you can just about see that. And if you go through steady enough, it will cut it perfectly. And then when it's out, obviously when it's all in, we'll cement up round it and get it all cleaned up as well, because we've got them holes to fill. There's a few bullet holes in this wall anyway. But yeah, sod's law, it's pissing down. I don't think it's going to stop either. So this is my main core drill set. What is it, Pro Series MS5. I think I got this from Screwfix ages ago. Obviously you can see the ones that are used. This one is perfect for just like the normal size saw pipe if you haven't got the collars or anything, or if you're not sinking it into the wall. You've got the bigger one, I think it's 127, yeah, but if you look there, it is give or take the same width. So even if you use that, you're still going to struggle to get the branch actual collar into the wall. So I know it's quite a little bit bigger, but just sending that through and then we can make up around the outside, and it just saves a lot of stress of putting that through and it just not working right. So we'll start and get the hole cored out through this wall. It's an old building, so I'm guessing it's going to be quite tough.
Episodes in Series 2 available on BBC iPlayer.
This is when you get covered in all that red brick dust.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, let's just say I'm covered in red brick dust. So if I look like I've done a fake tan, that's why. But we're through anyway, even though it's bust the end of my drill bit and I've got it stuck in the drill. But we'll sort that out in a minute. So now this branch can fit into the wall like that, and then we can just point up round it. It's not a problem at all. But yeah, it has took a little bit out of there, but you know, by the time it's pointed up, it'll look fine. Right, let's begin getting this stack up, I suppose. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, because obviously we're cast iron here, I'm going to start with an adapter collar, so that's going to go on there. Then we're going to come up in 4 inch. We've got to pick up that 1.25 basin waist at some point, so I'm going to put the rodding eye around that sort of height, because we can drill this boss out in the side and use that for the basin waist, and then it's up into where the branch is going to go, straight in there. And then obviously we've got to pick up the bath and the basin, and what we're going to do is use strap-on bosses into the side of the saw stack when it goes up, and then it'll go up 45 over the soffit and then to a bird cage at the top. So it's just going to neaten up here a hell of a lot more. Look at this, even the sun's trying to break out, thank God. So as I said, we'll start by getting this on, we're tightening it in, and what I'll do is I'll sit the pipe flush on the top of here and then put the collar roughly around there. Don't think there's any way of top to bottom, we'll do it that way anyway. Yeah, we'll do it that way, just to keep the writing upwards. Little tip for you when cutting soil pipe, I always use just a multi-tool, mark all the way round and just spin it. Then tried and tested rasp on the end of it. I've had this years. You know that one tool that if it went missing you'd be gutted? I think my rasp is it. To be fair, I'm not sure why I just rasped that. I got carried away, because that is just going to sit straight in there like so, and then the rodding eye in the top like that, and then we can work off and go from there. That's the bottom part in now with the rodding eye on, and I've just measured and cut this bit with the branch on the top, and it works a treat. Put that in there like so, and then it's as simple as that. And it's as simple as that. There's usually yellow writing on these. Always keep it to the back so it doesn't show on the front. When this is all wiped down, it'll be fine. So yeah, we'll tighten that up at the bottom now, and then level this up. The branch, as you can see, poking into the wall perfectly there. So we'll get some clips on here, then we can work the top bit out, get it across that soffit, get some more clips on, and then get a pipe internally onto the toilet, and then we can run off. We can go inside, drill out where the bath is, where the basin is, and come and put some strap bosses on the side there. Yeah, pot master's on, just in time for this saw pipe to be up. So that's up, poking through. Let's turn that off before we get a copyright. The old, is it Buggles? No, I think it's Buggles. Together in electric dream, together in pot master now, together in electric dreams. Comment below, I can't remember. I've lost 3 points on Potmaster. Anyway, yeah, that's the stack in. Got this bit here, so we're going to take that up now, push that into position for the toilet, and then we're going to work out where the holes are being drilled through for the wastes, for the bath and the basin. Who was it? Together in electric dreams, we'll always be together. Right, I'm not going to Google it. I'm just going to try and remember. Bollocks, it's not going to be long enough. That was just an off cut anyway. I'll cut a longer bit. That's the edge of the pan. I think the back of the pan is going to be about here. So we'll have to use another length up just to poke it in. But yeah, that'll be sort of sat like that, and then in the back of the pan, and then this will be boxed in. So that's the stack all in now. So we've took down that hopper head, we've took down that down pipe that was there, but I just wanted to free up this area to get the bath waste and the basin waste through. So I've drilled 2 pilot holes through. We're going to drill from outside in with this one, and then just get the holes through. And because I'm absolutely covered in red brick dust, we'll get this done, and I think it's going to start raining again shortly. Keeps spitting at the minute. So we'll get this done, and then we've got to swing over to Unilite to do some work over there. I think Alex has got me on this sponsorship under false pretenses, because we've done that, and then he went, oh, could you pop over one day and just connect a hot water heater and all that for us? So got to swing over there, so I'll film a bit of that as well. But we'll get these drilled out now, and then before the rain comes, and then we're ready to just come off there and we can connect into the stack. So that's the basin waste drilled out. We're just halfway through filling the bath, drilling the bath waste out. But I am just, again, can't even see my tattoos. I'm covered in that much red brick dust. I don't know if you can see it. Looks like I got some sort of fake tan on. I'm going to get these through, and then I'm just going home to get showered because I'm absolutely mean. But I wanted to get the holes drilled through, so I'm not coming back tomorrow and having to start again and getting covered in crap again. Plus, it has started raining again. So I've been parking on this job perfectly well in the little bay next to the customer's car. I've turned up today. The electrician's beat me here, but he just couldn't be asked to reverse in here and taking up the old bloody drive. You know what these sparkies are like. So today we're going to carry on. Now that all the holes are drilled out, just carry on getting these wastes through. So I've drilled the bosses into the stack, come across there for the 1.5 inches into the bath, and then we'll run below it into the basin. But we're going to try and do it before the rain comes. Bloody weather. And put the 1.25 inches into the stack there. Look, there he is, the guy that can't park in a sensible place. So we've altered the top of that stack now. So that's all in. We've got the basin waste, we've got the bath waste in. We'll mortar up round there and put some pipe snugs on before we finish, because I've got to get my brookie mate here to chop some bricks out and try and patch that up as best we can, because there's a fair few old holes, and then patch up round the straw pipe. We've also got this one to do before we finish this job, but we won't worry about that now. I've swirled the floor down as well, tried to get rid of all the red brick dust. So yeah, we've just got to go inside now, alter the pipes under the floor for where the bath's going to be and where the basin's going to be, and just get some clips on that 4-inch pipe, and then we can get that ready, get it boxed. Internally now we've got the waste in. I always bring these 1.25 inch waste that sit in the pedestals up quite high, and then we've got the bath waste there. As we know, the bath outline of the bath is around there, the centre's here, so the trap's going to be here, and then we can get onto that waste off the side. And we've also got the 4-inch for the toilet, which we're going to get boxed in tomorrow, off of the toilet in place, box it in, and then it's all ready to be skimmed, boarded, skimmed, seeded, skimmed. The electrician's been today as well. So yeah, we're all ready to go now. Outside's done. I missed the rain, thankfully. All the drilling's done. We'll get this boxed in tomorrow. Right, so it's Bank Holiday Thursday, Jubilee Thursday, so most people are getting ready to go on the piss, whereas we are here with the chippy, just doing a little bit of boxing, just to finish this bathroom ready for the plasterers, because they're coming on Monday. So I'll just show you, we've literally just, so we've just swung in this morning for a couple of hours just to get this little bit of boxing done. Brick tops here.
Back on the channel. Back on the channel.
Just to get that over boxing in, because we've got, as I said, Monday we've got the Scotty the plasterer coming to do the walls, ceiling and that. So he'll be here for 2 days plastering, and then Nath, the tiler, Nath and Matty are coming to tile half height in here. So I wanted to get this boxing in so they've got a clean run at everything. And then where the pan's going to go there, he'll tile round that and keep it all nice and sweet. So yeah, little Bank Holiday Thursday job. Sometimes you've got to, it's not a case of having a day off, it's a case of getting everything ready so you're not holding up the other trade, so it's just nice and smooth for them to get in, do their bit. There's nothing worse than, you know, just for the sake of a couple of hours doing that, saves a lot of hassle Monday, you know, otherwise you'd have been here doing that first thing Monday, and then the plasterers, it's the knock-on effect. So I'm pleased to say we are now back on the bathroom renovation. It seems like this one has taken quite a long time to get done, and the reason being is we had the Jubilee weekend, which took 2 days out of the schedule for this, and also the plasterer was ill and was off for a couple of days, so that threw us out by 3 or 4 days. Also just consciously that you don't want people in the house all the time, and you know, they were doing different things because it was a bank holiday. This is what happens sometimes on jobs like this. a little bit goes a bit skew-iff and it can throw everything out. But we are now with a completely tiled, painted, obviously plastered bathroom that looks really well. So we're going to have the complete freestanding bath there, taps there, centre of that window, basin here, toilet here, and tower out there. Now loads of people have said in the comments, why could you not got a 4-inch under the floor? You ain't getting a 4-inch under the floor when the joists are running that way. Why did you not go out the wall round? Because that is the front of the house and it would just look horrific. Obviously every avenue was thought about and that was the best way to do it, and the customers chuffed a bit because now they can use that as a bit of storage and whatnot to go on there. So let's start getting some kit in there and begin the fit out of this bathroom. We'll start with the taps going in and then the big freestanding bath. Right, we're going to start fitting these freestanding taps. We'll get these in first, ease into position, and then the bath can slide into it, and it just gives us more room to do the basin, the toilet and the towel out. So I've just took the tops off these taps. Obviously that's going to be on the top, and you've got these legs that sit on it. So this goes back to when I first fixed it and said you need to have plenty of movement in it. So they're obviously going to be bolted down to the floor, so you're not going to get any fitting inside there or get to any fitting inside there, but we've got to get swivels onto the bottom of these taps. So with that in position, we've got movement on that 15mm pipe, and that is why the forward thinking of it, to make sure you've got enough movement under the floor. So what we can do, we can cut this probably at this point here. Let's take it off quickly to show you. What I'll do is cut that, put a coupler on it, then up into a 22mm swivel, and then we've just got that movement. So when that shroud's on, we can move the swivel and get it tightened up onto the tap, drop the tap into position, and then that will be completely fixed. So we'll start with putting them two in and marking up the plates on the floor and getting them drilled and secured into position. But also, today is Thursday, and if you remember back, depending on when this video goes out, you'll remember how hot it is. So I've got the trusty old fan out the garage to keep us cool. There's nothing worse than being in a room like this when it's red hot, or even a roof. So a little top tip, always keep a fan on the van. So that's the tap into position, and I've just marked, as you can see down there, into where the plates are going to go. So we'll whip the taps off and get these drilled. As you can see, obviously we've got hardy backer board underneath these tiles, and obviously the floorboards as well. So we'll drill these out and then we can screw in firmly, get that fixed so it is fairly solid. You always find with these taps, because of the length of them, if you bolt them in properly, they don't move. They have a little bit of movement on them, but as a rule, they're fairly good when they're bolted in. Okay, so this is how we're going to connect the bath taps. There's 22mm feeding both of these pipes here, so before anyone says you've not got 22mm to the bath, it's feeding up to there, so that's not an issue. So we've got the coupler on there, we've got the swivel on there, so these legs will now slide over to that point there and bolt into the floor. And then what we've got poking out the top is the swivel, which will connect onto the bottom of the tap there. So if I offer that one in place like so, and also this one will go over this way. So now, as you can see, we've got both swivels sticking up at the top of these sleeves. And then now, the tap can go onto the swivels like so. And then, same with this one. I will tighten them up, but then they will just push down and like so, connected in like that. And then obviously the grub screw, we'll turn the grub screws so they can't see them, but there, and then bolt the taps down, and then that will be them in and connected up. So that's the way that I connect them taps up with the collars and the shrouds on. It's a little bit fiddly, but worth it in the end. So there we go, that's the taps in, bolted down onto the floor. I haven't got the water back onto them yet, but they're in position and nice and sturdy as well. So yeah, we've just got a little bit to come off the side onto the top of the telephone, but we'll do that when the bath's in. So now we're going to get this freestanding bath in. It's going to be a bit of a pain, I think, because this little bit of the staircase is a bit awkward, but I'm sure we'll be fine with it, hopefully. Touch wood. Right, there we go. That is that bath up and into position. It's just in there loosely at the minute. We've just carried it up and put it into position, but that just looks brilliant. It looks amazing there. But yeah, it was millimetre perfect. Getting around there, getting up here. But yeah, no, these heritage baths, these heritage freestanding baths, really, obviously I've got to level it all up and that yet. But there's nice, nice thing with these is there's a good bit of weight in them. A lot of these freestanding baths that just stand there, you can tap them with your leg and they'll move. Whereas these heritage ones, with the weight in them, they're pretty solid. So that's going to look brilliant. Toilet there, basin there. Right, so levelling these freestanding baths is probably the hardest thing to do with them. So what I've done, I've propped it up this end so that I can get underneath. I've measured the height of the legs all round, making sure the floor's level. They are pretty much spot on now. I've just test fitted it in. So what I'm going to do now is tighten up all the nuts, so lock them in effect, and then offer it back in and just make sure that it's absolutely stable. Then we can tighten the trap up, put the flexi on and connect it into the waist. But yeah, it's usually a two-man job, but as you know, I work on my own, so I've propped it up with that. That's my second man for the day, I suppose. My Fat Max screw box. So yeah, we'll get under there and tighten them all up. So there we go, I've locked all the legs in. Now that is absolutely solid. And as I said, a good bit of weight in these, so it's not going anywhere. Right, we'll lift this back end up now, get the waist connected onto it, drop it down, get it tested, and I'll show you a little trick of how you test the waist are all right on these. Don't know if you can see, I'll poke this right under. I've connected the flexi waist into the elbow over there, so when we drop the bath down, that will all be in position, and what we need to do is just to check that the waist isn't leaking underneath. So what we'll do is cut a bit of cardboard, slide underneath the waist, and then when the glue's gone off on the elbow, we'll run the bath up in a couple of hours time and just make sure that there's no leaks underneath it. This is a little trick to make sure you haven't got any leaks underneath the bath. So we'll just slide that underneath where the waist is, like so. Then we'll drop the bath down, put it into position, make sure that cardboard's underneath the trap, and then when we run the bath up shortly, we'll be able to check, see if there's any marks showing on that cardboard underneath there. So while the bath's going off, we can start concentrating on getting the toilet in. So I've just pushed it into position, marked up where we need to drill the holes out, here and here. I think I need one of them, you know, them little canisters, the green canisters, so you put it in and squirt and it puts a little dot there. I might see if I can pick one of them up. But yeah, mark the bottom, mark the top. So we'll push the plumbing system out of the way, get these drilled, get the walls drilled, get this back. That's another one ticked off the list. That's this pan in now. We've just got to screw the bottom bits down. What we've had to do here, now I came out the floor with copper onto a isolation valve here, and then we've gone up in chrome, and the only fitting I could get that was going to look good with the chrome was another isolation swivel. There's no issue with it. Basically it's just two isolation valves, but you know, at the end of the day it looks a lot neater than that, than putting a copper swivel on the top of a bit of chrome pipe. So that's the pan in. We'll turn the water onto it just to make sure everything is all okay. If I can find my screwdriver. So let's get the water on to this pan. It's just filling up, system's filled up. Perfect. No leaks, we're all good. we're all good to go. So we'll get the seat on, get the lid on, that's that one done, and I'm then going to check the bath, make sure that's alright, get it running, and just check the cardboard underneath is nice and dry. Right, let's test this bath then. So it's all been in, it's been in for a couple of hours or so the glue's gone off on the waste, everything should be fine. And let's give it a go, let's just go straight in. So remember, we've got that cardboard underneath the bath, and what we can do, we can always just lift the bath slightly just to check that everything's alright under there. So we'll just run it up for a little bit. It's running out somewhere, it's going somewhere. We've had the bath running, I've jacked it up, and there's this cardboard. There you go, perfect. Perfect way to know whether you've got a leak or not. Just leave under there, just for my own peace of mind. We'll test it for the rest of the day. But yeah, I know that'll be alright. So making good progress. As I said, bath sorted, toilet sorted, and we'll now get the towel rail in. We'll get this into position, screwed to the wall, and then what we'll do, this one is perfect, we'll just bung the tanks, cut it, and then just drop the valves on, straight into position there. But first off, let's get it mounted onto the wall and into the floor. So I've offered that into position, I've marked up the 3 points on each of the legs and the 3 points on the wall. So we'll get these drilled out, get this fitted, bolted to the wall, and then we can sort out the valves. So just been up into the roof, bung the tanks on this heating system. So what we're going to do now is cut, well, first of all I'll take the cap end off, and I've got the aquavac gear ready and a towel. I know full well there's not a lot of water comes out on this, so we should be okay. Right, that's that one done. Just spin that round, make sure that's off, and then we'll do the other side. There we are, both of them done. So all we've got to do now is just pop it back upstairs, pull the bung out of the tank, and fill this radiator up. Right, bungs are out, let's turn them valves on, and vent some air out. Here we go, all full. So there we go, that's that towel rail done. So there we go, end of play today. Bath's in, taps are on and working. Toilet's in, connected up, towel rail's on, connected up. We're just waiting for the basin to arrive. So the customer purchased the basin from an online bathroom company. I think it was Victoria Plum or Victoria Plumbing or one of them. Anyway, they had one delivered out that was smashed. They told them, not a problem, we'll send you another one. Delivered a second one, smashed. Not a problem, we'll deliver you another one. Yeah, third one, smashed. So I've gone to Dave at Plumbase, said, look, can you get this basin for us? Because you know full well that you'd like to think that they're going to deliver that basin a lot more carefully to plumb base than they are in the back of a DPD van or whatever it is. So that should be arriving tomorrow. So then we get the pedestal basin on, mirror on, and then the sparky will be back to do the lights, pull cord, spotlights in the ceiling, and we've got to put the threshold strip back on the floor here, and we're probably going to have to trim a bit of the door down, to which I think it's an oak door, so I'm going to speak to someone that was on the channel this time last year, Dave Grills. We'll get Dave Grills back out to trim the bottom of that door. So then it will come together and it'll be finished off. But yeah, it's looking very nice at the minute. So it's Monday morning, we're back at the bathroom renovation. Hopefully today should be the last day of getting everything in, finished off and sorted for this bathroom. We've got the electrician coming, we've got the carpenter coming to sort the door out, and I've just got the basin to go in. So just got here this morning and Stuart said, yeah, looks brilliant, but he just pointed out to me, obviously this has been on over the weekend, there's a small damp bit of water here. So had a look under here, basically it was dripping off the bolts that hold the cistern on. So in turn, obviously took the cistern off. So, as I said, I took the cistern off, and this is the culprit. You know, usually they're quite hard and rubber ones. This is just a foam, crappy foam one, and it's just squashed up so much and deformed out of shape. So, you're going to bin that one off, and I'll pick a proper, decent rubber one up. I thought I had one in the van, I've just checked. I haven't. I must have used it and not replaced it. So, we'll swing out at some point, get a proper donut for there, and get that back on. But what we can do in the meantime is get this basin on. So we'll start obviously by making the taps in and putting the waste in. As always, I'll silicone that in because I don't like using the washers. But this, on this plug, nice little touch in white heritage from the actual plug itself. So I like that, yeah. So we swapped the basin for a smaller one, 500, just so it doesn't overpower the room there. So we get this made up and start fitting it. So that's the basin into position, as I've said. What I've done, I've connected the waste. Now, I'm going to apologise now because I fitted it and completely forgot to film it, because with these, you get to a point where you're like, right, once this is in, it's in. So I'll talk you through exactly how I did it. What I do, I pull this pedestal out, offer the basin on the top, and then screw the pedestal trap to the bottom, and then mark the nut just on the edge of the pedestal there, then offer that into position and then mark the waste pipe for the cut. Then cut the waste pipe off, fit the pedestal trap directly to the waste pipe. Then when you push this into position, you've just got enough to get your hand into here to spin the nut onto the waste. Now, if ever there's an issue with these, they're a right pain in the arse to get sorted, but that's tightened up all right, so hopefully we're good to go. And what we can do, we can pull these pipes out to get to. We're going to put isolation valves on there, then tuck them behind the back of the pedestal, you're not going to see them, and then pipe up internally. And then what I'm going to try and do is get copper all the way in, and then just put a swan neck on the bottom and solder some swivels on the bottom of the taps, just so I can get it really tight up into there. So what I'm going to do is bend that pipe from that swivel just up there and get it in. So we're going to go there, we're going to put a set on it so it comes down into these fittings here. Now I always just bend it by eye and hopefully it'll work.
Talking to yourself again?
Yeah, look, the electrician's turned up to put some lights in. Surprised he's not on holiday.
Not yet, next week.
Next week?
Next Tuesday.
It's like Judith Chalmers, this boy. So that's set there. You're not going to believe I've done it in one, but I did.
No, it's not in.
And you can just see that tucked in the back there. So you ain't going to see nothing. Look who else has popped up on the channel. Look, it's Dave Grills. Dave Grills is back without his Dave salad now. He's not the grills on the air. Salad bar only, I'm afraid. Just a Dave the rabbit. Yeah, so Dave's come to just trim this door off a little bit and put that threshold in. And look, I've got an electrician literally on my shoulders here. Raving. So I'll offer that one into that swivel there and just put, again, another little set on it. I'll film this one because you probably think I
Got someone else to do it.
got someone else to do it, yeah. See if I can just get it by eye again.
No chance.
So, I don't know why, I can usually eye them up quite well. Let's have a look.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near. That is up there. Oh, look at that, look. That'll be perfect. Perfecto. Just tuck that in there. That there. Just trim the excess off there. It's all in the eye. So this threshold was obviously on the floor previously, and it was probably about ½ an inch down. So what Dave's done is just built that up, so now it's flush. And that tile there. Lovely job, Dave.
BEA, beautiful. And Nick's fitting the pull cord.
Yeah, Nick's got a pull cord, technical job, a pull cord.
Yeah.
And if Nipex want to send Nick a new pair of cutters, because they're about 36 years old by the looks of it.
Just feel free.
Yeah. So I've just been and picked up a better donut for this system. Obviously, look, the ones that comes with them foam crappy ones. So that can go in the bin, and we'll push that one on like so and get it put back on here, bolt it back to the wall, turn back on and test it, and hopefully we'll all be good to go. So there we have it. That is that bathroom completely done and everything is finished. I'll take you in and show you. So we've completely ripped the old bathroom out. We've replastered, reboarded, took the lath and plaster off half of the wall, redone that, completely skimmed the room out, new electrics, lights, wall lights, pull cord, because they wanted an old style pull cord in there. We've got an old towel rail, old vintage looking towel rail. The bathroom is like a nod back to the Victorian bathrooms. That's the one we did before, if you remember. So once this one was completed, I'll pop a link up into the corner to the background of this bathroom. But once that was done, we then moved on down into this bathroom, and it looks pretty good if I say so myself. So the main feature, the big massive heritage freestanding bath, that was the main thing that they wanted inside this bathroom. And we got it centre of that window. Originally the toilet was there, basin there, and the bath was down this wall. So we switched it around, bath there, heritage telephone style taps directly in the middle. It's a nice deep bath. And what you've got is the angles on each side, so you can use it. A lot of these new baths, they're just vertical, which you know, but nice heritage basin to match with the taps. And what I like with this is even the plug, it's got heritage around it. It's the little things. Nice mirror with the two lights, and it just works with that door as well. I think it just looks really good. So that's me tucked right into the corner. And then obviously we've got the toilet there, the box in there with the saw pipe in. We had to box around it because you wouldn't want to send a saw pipe out through the front of the house. It's not going to go under the floor. But customers chuffed to bits with it. They can put stuff on there, do whatever they've got to do. And finally the heritage towel rail that just works with the room, goes with the tiles, the metro tiles on the wall, the colours. They've got a nice unit to go in there and some drawers. So yeah, I'm just really pleased with it. Got the downlight is there, really works well. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. So if you've enjoyed watching the whole process of this bathroom coming together, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop me a comment, let me know what you think, because I think this looks brilliant.